Welcome to Worthy and Abundant, the podcast that is dedicated to teaching every single soul on this planet that you are worthy. You are worthy just for breathing. You are worthy of living a life you love. You are deserving of all of your desires. We aren't here to survive. We are here to thrive, and abundance is your birthright. I am so excited you are here. My name is Linda Brand. I am your coach. I am a certified life coach, an empowerment coach, a self-love expert, and an EFT practitioner. I am on a mission to teach every single soul on this planet that you are worthy of all of your desires, that you are enough, you are more than enough, and you can create anything you desire. You can be, do, and have anything. Your limitations are in your mind. You are worthy. Let's do this. Thank you for being here. Enjoy the show. And if you do, please take a moment to share, subscribe, rate, and review. Let's grow this community. Let's create a new planet together. Welcome back to the podcast. I'm so glad you're here. Today's guest is a health and wellness expert, and lately that seems to be the guest that we're having, that and real estate. And I'm very passionate about health and wellness, so I love Rachel. Rachel Bentz is a plant-based personal trainer and wellness coach. She's helping women over 40 lose weight, gain energy, and feel amazing in their bodies without extreme diets or burpees. With dual master's degrees in education and kinesiology, Rachel combines brain and body science with her signature method, the 3 Ps, pauses, push-ups, and plants, to make wellness sustainable and fun. She's the founder of the Enjoy community and supplement line, host of the Joy Unfiltered podcast, and a firm believer that fitness should feel good for good. Welcome, Rachel, to the show. Thank you for being here.
Thanks, Linda. I'm really excited to be here and chat with you today.
Yes, I'm so excited too. Tell us a little bit about what led you to do the work that you're doing today, especially your passion for helping women over 40 feel amazing in their bodies.
Yeah, so I started my career in training and development, leadership development, organizational development in corporate America. Loved the work that I was doing, but really was finding that the women, probably people, but the women who were moving up in their careers, who were doing really well in their jobs, were women that were also taking care of their bodies. And I really found this passion, not necessarily just for women leaders, but I just want people to feel good in their bodies so that they can be amazing at the rest of their lives.
Okay, so they were or were not taking care of their bodies. So
the people that were doing well were. The people that were struggling, they were struggling both at work, but they were struggling, and maybe it was a little bit about a lot of things. Maybe it was a little bit about confidence. Maybe it was a little bit about they just didn't have the energy to do all of the things that they wanted to do. They didn't have the focus, the resilience. And I just found and really felt called to fun is one of my values. And I really wanted people just to be having fun at work and at life. So my calling really is not necessarily just to help people with the corporate side of things, but to feel good in their bodies so that they can go be amazing people.
Yeah, I love that. It's so interesting.
Yeah, so I took that, I made that kind of hard switch. So had been working in corporate America, stopped, went back to grad school full time to get a master's degree in kinesiology, and then went full into the exercise and nutrition piece of it. I think it wasn't until about 5 years ago, Linda, that I also found that those two things are imperative. But once I added the pauses or the meditation and rest, so that I have all those 3 things, that is where, for me personally, I really found a big growth, but also with my clients.
Yeah. And what were you doing in corporate America? I might have missed it.
Yeah. So I was training and development, organizational development, leadership development. So worked for large organizations for the first part of my career. And then towards the end of that corporate stuff, I was working for a small consulting agency, working with then leaders in organizations.
Yeah. Amazing. And then do you have a personal story around your own body and nutrition and the whole thing that led you also on this path?
Yeah. Yeah. So the first part leading to the plants part, because I am 100% plant-based. I haven't been that for these 25 years, I suppose. But in 2000, I was living out in San Francisco, and so I was married at the time, and my ex-husband, who's a lovely person, but he challenged me. He's like, I bet you can't go a full month without eating meat. I was like, okay, challenge accepted. And so since 2000, I haven't had any meat. I ate fish for a while after that, but then I slowly moved through dropping fish, dropping eggs, dropping dairy.
Yeah.
So that's part of the journey. But honestly, in 2000 or 2020, in my 40s, I think perimenopause had hit. I was going through some other relationship stuff, and I had gained about 40 pounds, even though I was still doing personal training. I was still working with people. I had gained weight.
Right.
And I thought, okay, that I'm not being a very good leader.
Right.
That is what it is. So honestly, I took a step back. That's where I added meditation into my daily practice. And Linda, something just clicked. I did the meditation. I started just being really consistent, nothing fancy, but really consistent about going to the gym, and then really consistent about what I was eating. Not into the whole counting all your calories and counting all your macros and doing all of that, but just being mindful and consistent. And about 4 months later, 40 pounds came off, and I just haven't looked back.
That's amazing. Was your ex, was he plant-based? I'm just curious why he offered that question.
No, I don't know. I don't remember the conversation that we're having. And again, he's a lovely person. And
that's okay.
and he was the chef, the cook of our family. So he didn't go plant-based, but he started cooking for me plant-based because we were married for another 10 years after that. So he did a lot of plant-based cooking, but didn't ever go plant-based, which was fine.
Right? Yeah, I was just curious why you asked the question. But so your signature method is called pauses, push-ups, and plants. I love that. Can you give us a quick breakdown of what it means? I know you mentioned the meditation, but just a little breakdown.
Yeah, I love alliteration. So that's why I came up with the pauses, push-ups, and plants. Yeah, again, it's about incorporating those three things into your day. Now, it doesn't need to be full bore. It doesn't need to be super extreme. It could be 5 minutes of meditation in the morning. But I really think that taking a couple deep breaths, slowing ourselves down, really centering ourselves in the morning can be, for me, it was world changing, earth changing, earth shattering. So that, then doing some movement. And I do think as we get older and as women, strength training is important, but it's also super important, Linda, to find something that you enjoy, because if you don't like it, you're not going to do it. And then it's just not going to work.
Yeah.
And the plants, so the pauses, the push-ups, the plants, not necessary to go 100% plant-based. I'm not asking everybody to do that, but I do think we all can benefit from adding more plants to our plates.
Yeah.
So adding more green things, adding some more berries, adding nuts and seeds, adding some plants to our plates can benefit us in a multitude of ways.
Can I ask, when you went plant-based, eventually you went full fit animal advocacy? Was it health, what was what keeps you staying with it? Is it or you just feel better? Yeah.
I think Linda, it's all of those things. For me, honestly, it was this a little bit of a bet or a little bit of a dare 25 years ago.
Right.
But I didn't really like the texture of meat. But since then, some of the decisions that I've made, because I went super slow. It took me almost 20 years to go to be 100% plant-based. So I didn't make any big moves. That's the other thing about my program as well. It's not about going all in right away. It's about how do we create sustainable habits. So I think throughout the years, there have been different reasons that have gotten me to take that next step. So a lot of it was about the way it makes my body feel. So a lot of it was a little bit selfish. So it made my body feel better. And I really feel that I recover faster from workouts as well.
I'm a big I prefer plants too, but I just lately. I get hungry and I notice that when I eat a little bit of animal protein that I'm much more full, like my body just, but I prefer to be, I was plant-based for 3 years, everything but eggs. I was gluten-free, dairy-free, and vegetarian. So dairy-free and vegetarian and gluten-free. It's basically plant-based, except I had eggs. So that was the only thing that I had. But as I age, it just, for me personally, I'm noticing I'm doing the protein bars and the protein, they're all vegan protein bars and protein shakes. And I don't know, it's a dance. It's really interesting, but I'm incorporating a little bit of small amounts of meats. I thank the meat, I thank God for the food, and then I thank the animal. It helps, I think. And then also the grass fed and trying to get it from where they treat them
humanely. Yeah. Yeah. And I think, and I don't know, Linda, if you and I talked about this, but there has never been a vegan police person that came to my door that said you can't eat that. So and that's also why I do like the word plant-based a little bit more than vegan, because I don't actually live the whole vegan lifestyle. I have leather, I do. And I think that the borders can be blurred a little bit. And I'm okay with that. But
I don't dairy, like most people are doing the almond milk, the different milks. Nobody's really drinking milk that is an adult that I know of, that very few people like even. So it's interesting, but as I want to build the muscle, I'm just curious because this is just something I love animals so much, and I don't want them being used for being used for things that aren't necessary. But so what are some small shifts? Let's see. So many women feel pressure to do more to be healthy. How do you help your clients let go of the all or nothing thinking?
Yeah. And that honestly is so hard. It's so hard. And so a lot of the work that we do is here, right? A lot of the work that I do with my clients is our brains. So it really is about assessing what's working and what's not working, and how do we make small shifts. So I know so many times we're ready to lose some weight, we want to do it, and we're like, okay, I'm ready, let's go. And we work out 6 days a week, we eat 1,200 calories, and we do that for 2 weeks because we're really good at it. And then it's too hard. It's too hard because we haven't actually cultivated or built the habit that is sustainable. And if you've done any reading about habits, there's some really good books out there, but building habits doesn't mean doing it all. You don't go from A to Z and then all of a sudden decide to stay there. We have to build the foundation. So although, yes, here's where we want to be with the pauses, push-ups, and plants, what's the first easy thing that we can do? And where are we going to get the most bang for our buck? Some people I start with meditation. Some people we start with 5 minutes a day, 3 days a week of doing some kind of movement, right? Because what's not about that, when we get started, it's not about the actual movement. It's about the habit of doing the movement so that in a couple of months, that person can be the person who just works out 3 days a week for 30 minutes. Or maybe it's just adding some greens to your plate.
I love it.
Maybe it's one piece of broccoli. It can't be hard. It's got to be easy. And then we just step it up every week.
Yeah, I love that. I really love your brand. Because fun is a fun, even though I'm not having as much fun as I know I should be or could be, I do believe in joy being why we're here and part of why we're here. And I do believe, I just love your brand. Enjoy is a fabulous brand. And you're welcome. And also, as far as I read something recently, if you like go to the gym, if you miss the gym more than 2 days, I forgot how it was worded, but it was, you just have a new habit now of not going. Like you literally have to go. Consistency is so gigantic in everything. And so if you miss twice, like you better get there, because it's like now you're becoming somebody like, so I'm celebrating my small wins. Oh, you didn't eat pizza this weekend. Okay. You didn't eat after this time 2 nights in a row, and all these things, because they all add up. Like we need to celebrate, right? The small wins.
I absolutely, and I think what happens, so a couple of things come to mind when you say that. One, in order to do that, the first step even before that is having a plan. So having the plan that these are the days and writing it in your calendar. I still write all of my workouts.
Me too.
I write my workouts, but I also write them in my calendar so that I just know right after this, I am going to go to the pool and go swimming. So that is like on my calendar, regardless if I want to or not. I do like swimming, but I write it in my calendar so that I'm just executing to the plan rather than letting emotion take over, because that doesn't work. And then I also like having a visual calendar, not just necessarily having in my phone, but having a visual calendar. Because then at the end of the month, and it's the beginning of June, it's a good thing to start. Then you can see all of the times that you executed to the plan. And we're just like kindergartners. We're just like 5-year-olds. We like our stickers so that you got gold stickers for the days that you did it. And then you can see the pattern, and you can see, we can celebrate that consistency doesn't mean perfection, but it could be that we went 80% of the time that we said we were going to. Okay, let's celebrate that.
That's right.
It's not perfection, but it's still consistent. If we don't have that visual aid, what our brains remember is the times that we didn't go.
Yeah.
And then we focus on the times that we didn't go, not on the 80% of the times that we did go.
Right.
So I think having a plan, making it easy to begin with, and then writing it down and then celebrating. I think those are huge things. So I love that you're celebrating the little wins.
Yeah.
Because why not have a little more joy? But it also then, that celebration helps to build new neural pathways in our brain that then helps us build those habits.
Absolutely. So you talk about making fitness feel good for good. What does that look like in real life, especially for busy women over 40?
Yes, good question. And I don't want to give an ambiguous answer, but it looks different for everybody. So part of fitness feeling good for good is that we need to, as women, also keep promises to ourselves. Because oftentimes we are so good at keeping promises to everybody else. So we make sure that we get everything done at work. We make sure we get things done for our partners or for our friends or our sisters or our moms. Yeah. And then we say, oh, I'm going to go to the gym, or I'm going to eat more broccoli, and then it doesn't get done. And then we
beat ourselves up.
We beat ourselves up because we're not keeping that. So part of feeling good is just feeling good that we keep promises to ourselves. The other thing is that you need to find something that I love, and that's why I named my company this, that you actually do enjoy. So if you don't right now, although I'll maybe help you enjoy it a little bit more, but if you don't enjoy sitting and meditating for 5 minutes in the morning, fine. What is it that you enjoy that can be meditative? Is it going for a walk? Is it doing some sort of dance, or is it doing something like that? That's fun.
Yeah.
And same with the push-ups, and same with the movement, and same with what you're going to eat. If you don't like, okay, I am plant-based and I cannot stand squash. Can't stand it. I wish I did. I wish I liked sweet potatoes. They're so good for you.
Yeah.
I don't like them. So don't eat it if you don't like it. There are plenty of other good foods to eat. So Find something, do it consistently, but you have to like it, or else you're not going to do it consistently.
How does self-worth play into health and fitness, health and wellness for clients?
Oh, such a good question. And I know you talk about that a lot as well, but I think it's circular, that you have to have a little bit in order to get started. And then once you keep that promise to yourself, then that self-worth just continues to build. So it's not an either or, it's a both and, right? Because you have to have a kernel of it in order to reach out or to get started or to do something. But it is amazing, the women that I work with, Linda, that once a couple of weeks goes by and we're able to celebrate all those small wins. They went for a 5-minute walk. They ate some protein for breakfast. They did these little things, and then we're able to celebrate them together, either in the community or when I'm working with them one-on-one. And I love seeing this. You can tell by their energy and the spark in their eyes and their smile when things start to happen, even if it's not happening on the scale, because I know we all like to get on the scale once in a while, and that can be a measurement, but I tell people the only thing that it's measuring is your relationship to gravity.
Yeah.
Only thing the scale.
It's wild because it's like there's salt, there's water weight, I think it's all about how you feel and look in your clothes or feel in your clothes, how you look. It's the number, it can't dictate your happiness or your success because it's just, I don't know, like does muscle truly weigh more than fat?
Yeah, if you look at how much space it takes up, absolutely. So sometimes I tell people, even in the first month, let's even put the scale away, because the only thing that we get to control, and in perimenopause, if your weight feels 1,000% uncontrollable, because all these things are happening, but the only things that can control are our own actions.
Yes.
We can control that we are sitting in meditation or journaling and doing some gratitude. We can control that we're going to the gym or we're drinking our water or we're getting enough sleep. It's amazing. And I know sleep is elusive for some of us in this age, but that we're getting enough sleep, we're getting enough water, that we're eating enough protein and fiber. Those are the things we can control. And if we do well at them, we're gonna feel better. And the science,
Yes.
you're gonna lose weight. It's just that is how it happens. But let's concentrate on what we can control and then celebrate those things.
Yeah, I love that. Did you happen to listen to the Holly Bertone episode where she talked about emotional eating?
No, I need to go back and listen to that though. Okay.
Yeah, it's a core one. So she's former FBI and now she's a health coach but she was a health coach before she felt like anyway, it's a whole story, but ultimately she talks mainly about the emotional eating, and that's been a thing. And I think it's a thing for a lot of people, but it's not. So anyway, we're like emotional eating is just something where you're not being mindful. So I think that your meditation plan helps with that as well, because we start to notice and become aware, because self-awareness is so gigantic. And some of us, we're nervous and we're eating, we're not even, and you think, oh, it's healthy. But just because it's healthy, if you're overeating when you're not even hungry,
you can have too many bananas. Like I'm one of those. Yeah. Like I love bananas, but you can have too many. You can have too. And I think the other thing as well is there's so much wrapped up in food. And that's another thing that I talk to my clients about as well, is because just generationally, food is love, or food is caring, and food is all of these things. And so and celebratory, and we eat it when we're happy or sad, so food does a lot of things. And so the other piece that we work at is what are other ways that we can get that dopamine hit? Because really what we're getting that dopamine hit when we're eating some of those more high carb foods. Not saying that carbs are bad at all. Carbs are good. But what are other ways that we can also get that dopamine hit without eating? So we practice those things as well. Is it reading? Is it calling a friend? Is it taking a bubble bath? Is it lighting a candle? I don't know, like doing a little solo dance party. What is it that can help us get that dopamine hit instead of food?
Okay. And then what are some small shifts women can make today to feel better in their bodies without going to extremes? I guess you shared a little bit on that, right? Adding more.
I think, yeah. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. I think it's really thinking about, for me, those three things: the pauses, push-ups, and plants, and pick one, and pick something that is absolutely doable. You might think it's like the smallest thing. Maybe it's just meditating for a minute. Maybe it's just, I had a client once, Linda, we practiced, this sounds silly, but she's going to the gym now. She would drive to the gym. And then if she felt like it, she would get out and go to the gym. But it was for the first week, we just practiced like getting to the gym. Sometimes she didn't even go in. She just got to the parking lot, got there, and then she went home. But the practice of, okay, this is the next step. But it's finding something small that you enjoy that you can easily just incorporate. And I like to talk about adding, not subtracting, especially when I talk about food. So it's easier to say I'm going to add more protein, or I'm going to add some more fiber, rather than saying I'm going to take away the potato chips, because if we add enough if I don't think food is good or bad, but if we add enough food that is good for our bodies, the other stuff, there isn't room for the other stuff then.
Yeah, that's so good. You're really great at everything on this. Yeah, this is so good. And something else you were saying about getting to the gym. Like I will tell people, just because I am like a holistic kind of coach, but I will say, like, even if you just go with the intention that I'm going to do 20 minutes on the bike or something, like 20 minutes. And then once you're there and you're like, oh, I'm only going to do 20 minutes. And then you're there and you end up doing more. But it's just, that's a good mindset to make it doable. Like you said, the lady that just gets there, she got there. That's a plus, right?
Yeah. And I would say, Linda, even maybe cutting that in half, like I have a rule for myself that, and I have actually used it, but if I get to the gym and I don't want to be there, I say 10 minutes. And if after 10 minutes, I'm not fully into my workout, I get to make the choice to leave. And I've done it maybe twice in my life, but at least it's still in the back of my head so that if I don't get through those 10 minutes and I'm not at least into the workout, I can leave, and that's okay. It's the act of getting there.
Yeah. I loved boxing. I did boxing and now I'm doing jazzercise, which I love. And it's just super fun, like to do these things. I remember when I was boxing, I was like, why am I gaining weight? I'm hungrier. I'm eating more, but I looked good. I just was in my head.
What you're gaining muscle. Yeah.
Yeah. What do you wish more women knew about weight loss and energy after 40 that we are just not being told?
Oh, I think strength training is so important. 30 grams of protein at breakfast. Really good research about getting enough protein at breakfast. And then I also just think it's about the joy, and I want people to put the scale away. It's about really, I think two things of the same thing can be true. I want us to love our bodies, how they are and how they're changing, because it's amazing, sometimes awesome, sometimes not awesome changes that are happening. Put the scale away, love your body, and then work on the things in small steps that you can accomplish.
Yeah. And loving your body the way it is right now, thanking your body, like how important is that? Because we have been judging our bodies, criticizing our bodies as women. I'm speaking for everyone when I say we, because we grew up with these models and all these things. And I grew up in the 70s and I watched just so many things and I think that women specifically have been programmed to hate their bodies if it doesn't look a certain way. And it's very sad.
And even if we can't love all of the things about our bodies, I do encourage, I have all of my clients, before they get out of bed in the morning, I'm like, put your hands over your heart and you have to say 5 things that you love about yourself. And one thing has to be physical.
I love that. Oh, that's great.
When I first started that practice myself, it took me a little while to come up with 5, but you get used to it. And one thing needs to be physical. And because you don't have to we don't maybe love all of our body, but everybody can find one thing about their bodies that they love. Even if it's your skin or your nose or your earlobe that morning, whatever. But
yeah. I was going to share something personal, but just back when I had so most of my life, I didn't love my thighs. And today I make a point to love my legs. Thank you, legs. Thank you for all you do for me. I'm blessed and grateful for you. And a guy I dated for a while, he was like, I love your legs. I love your thighs. And it was so interesting because I hated them at that time. And I was like, okay. And he also loved my hands, which I also was like, you know how your age hands are like, I'm like, oh my God. And he also, but today I love my hands. I learned to love all of me and accept all of me. And it's a practice. It's a practice. It's not, I'm going to decide, but it's a practice like meditation and yoga and exercise, all these things, right?
Yeah, we're just practicing. And I even tell clients too, Linda, that we're practicing at eating. I know we all eat and we've done it since we were born, but we need to practice eating in a new way. And so we're just practicing and we're not going to get it perfect. We're never going to get it perfect, but we can get it better. So if we're just have that beginner mindset about meditation and movement and eating, we're going to continue to go down that path.
Yeah. I have a few more questions, but what came to mind is, what would you do if you are being mindful, you're changing your habits? I'm not going to say you're on a diet. I'm just saying that you're being mindful.
Yeah.
And you know that they're bringing pizza to work tomorrow, or there's going to be what would you suggest to people that they know themselves and they're going to be at an event or whatever it is, where there's food or desserts or different things, how do you help your clients? What do you say?
Yeah. So the first thing is, one, make the decision when you're in a safe and comfortable environment about what you're going to do. So make the decision the night before about what you're going to do and then stick with that decision. I often talk about events or going out to eat. And this sounds weird, but it's not about the food. Like, it's about the other people that are there. It's about the event. It's about the celebration. It's about all of the rest of the things. So put those things first. So if it's pizza at work, that means all your coworkers are getting together to eat together. So it's about the act of community, not about the pizza. It's not about the pizza. Unless Wolfgang Puck is coming in and cooking it himself in front of you, then maybe it's about the pizza. But normally, unless we're going to some 4-star restaurant, it's not even about the food at the restaurant. And it's definitely, if we're going to an event, probably it's not about the buffet at the event, right? It's about the people that are there. So let's think about that first. And then make the choice. This is not about restriction. If you really want a piece of pizza and that's what you decide, fine, have a piece of pizza. You don't need 5, but have a piece.
Yeah.
If you want to have the dessert at the event, great, have the dessert or have a couple bites of the dessert.
Yeah.
There's some really good research that we really only taste the first 1 or 2 bites of anything that we're eating, and then our senses get dulled. Really taste then, be mindful and really enjoy those first couple bites.
Yeah.
And then push it away. And again, remember why we're there.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember saying recently about the distinction between I love myself, so I'm going to have the piece of cake, and I love myself, so I'm not going to have the piece of cake. They both are loving yourself.
They both are good options.
Yes. And ultimately, you're the expert, but if you are working towards releasing extra weight, it's not advised to have those kinds of things. But if you're good with your weight, isn't it everything in moderation? Like 80% eat well and 20% treats. Yeah. If you're maintaining versus if you want to release, then you're not going to have, because I'm just asking.
Yeah. And there are always choices. And even if you are on, let's say you're trying to release weight and you're on that journey, you also can't be 1,000% restrictive, because we're also living our lives.
Yeah.
It's not a here and a there. It's that we're going down the path. And yes, if you're going down the path of wanting to release some weight, you do need to be in a caloric deficit. There is some science. About it, right?
Yeah.
But it's not about deprivation. And if you are doing that 1 piece of cake in a week, it's not going to derail you. Now, if you have a bowl of ice cream every night, yeah, that is going to derail you a little bit. So we still need to make choices. But I would say, if it's the most delicious chocolate cake and you know it is, then have the delicious chocolate cake
and enjoy every minute of it, or enjoy.
Correct. Yeah. And then just get back to the consistency. So
yeah, I could talk about this stuff all day. So what's bringing you the most joy in your own life right now, Rachel?
No, that is a great question. I am getting ready to relocate back to, I'm from Minnesota originally, and I'm getting ready to relocate back to Minnesota. And it's been a strange journey getting to that space, but I'm really looking forward to fall in the Midwest because it's so pretty there. So that's bringing me joy. And it's also bringing me joy to make sure that I'm not just thinking about what that looks like, but what am I doing here to enjoy all the things. I'm in Austin, Texas right now. So doing all the things that I can do to enjoy Austin, Texas before I leave, things that I've done before, or are there things I haven't done? So the discovery of things that make me smile. So being outside, being in the water, going paddleboarding, I haven't ever been down to the coast of Texas before. So I'm planning a trip down to Corpus Christi so that I can at least see what that experience is. So
awesome. What's one powerful reminder you'd love to leave our listeners with today? And then we'll find out where to connect.
Start small and be consistent. Those are just the 2. Start small, but start. And then consistency. Yeah. And have fun. Sorry, I have 3. And it's got to be fun.
It's got to be fun. Find something you enjoy.
Yep. Absolutely.
I love that. Okay. This has been amazing. Is anything else you want to share? And then we'll ask where people can find you and learn about your Enjoy community and your podcast.
Yeah, no, nothing else. So I think that you're going to leave those links in the show notes, but enjoymyeveryday.com. That's my website. You can find a link then to my Enjoy community on there, a link to the supplements on there. I've got a blog. My podcast link is also on my enjoymyeveryday.com. And then I'm at LinkedIn under Enjoy My Everyday and Instagram, Enjoy My Everyday.
I love it. And thank you, Rachel, for being here. And I just want to say you need to go listen to her podcast because it's so informative and so powerful. And they're short and great episodes. And I just love the information and the reminders, the Enjoy reminders.
Awesome. I appreciate that. And Linda, I really appreciate you asking me to spend this time with you today. It was great.
Yes, it was. Thank you so much. I appreciate you.
Thanks.
Yep. Thank you for listening to today's episode. I hope it was inspiring. I hope that you were inspired to step deeper into your power and embrace the abundance that's around you and within you. If you loved this episode, please share with someone you think would benefit. Subscribe so you know when the next episode is, and leave a review. It means so much to me to grow this audience. Let's try to help as many people as we can. Let's try to create a new earth. And let's stay connected. Follow me on social media. I'm on Instagram at Linda Brand Coach and Abandoned to Abundant. Also, if you're ready to take your transformation even further, check out my coaching and resources at lindabrandcoach.com. Remember, you are worthy, you are powerful, and abundance is your birthright. Take care, everybody. Till next time.